For Parker Schnabel and his crew, this season has been a roller coaster of emotions, tough decisions, and some absolutely jaw-dropping results. Parker took a massive gamble buying Dominion Creek. It was a decision that kept him up at night, wondering if it was the right move, but now as the final weigh-ins roll in, it's clear this gamble is paying off in ways no one expected. The ground has been much richer than anticipated, and the crew's original goal of 5,000 completely shattered. They're now within reach of an unbelievable 7,000, and Parker wants every last bit of gold heading straight into their pockets. After 5 days of non-stop work running Sluifer and Big Red at both Australia and Dominion Creeks, it's time for the moment of truth. Parker's crew gathers around for the final gold weigh-in. Mitch, one of the key players in this operation, checks in, reflecting on how intense the season has been. The team has been pushed to their limits, but they've also stepped up. Operators like Tatiana Jacob came in with little to no experience, and now they're handling heavy machinery like pros. But talk is cheap. It's time to see the gold. First up, the cleanup from Australia. Creek, see how much gold you got. Yeah, what you got first. This Australia. Here we go. 20/40/70. The team watches as the scale climbs 20/40/70 100 ohms and keeps going. The final tally a solid 172. But they're not done yet. Next, it's time for the Dominion Creek cleanup. The gold starts pouring onto the scale 20/40 100 120, and it keeps climbing when the final numbers lock in. The total reaches an insane 300 ounces for the week. When all said and done, Parker's total haul for this week alone sits at a staggering 635, worth over $1.2 million. His biggest cleanup of the entire season. The crew is seeing numbers that even they didn't think were possible. Hundreds of ounces, millions of dollars, and a record-breaking haul that could go down as one of the best in gold rush history. But with all that success comes an even bigger challenge: keeping the momentum going, because in gold mining, the moment you slow down, the gold stops coming in. Even after a jaw-dropping week, Parker and his crew know they can't afford to take their foot off the gas. There's still dirt to move, gold to weigh, and decisions to be made, with the weigh-ins proving that their new ground is paying off. There's no time to waste. As Parker wraps up the latest weigh-in, he reminds the team that next week is going to be just as intense. There's still ground to chew through, adjustments to make, and a lot more gold waiting to be pulled out of the earth. It's a constant cycle: dig, wash, weigh, repeat. But when the gold is flowing like this, the only option is to keep pushing forward. Yeah, I mean, at the pace we're going, we'll pass our target. Well, till next week. Yeah, we got a lot more dirt to move, so they're good after it. Go check up on your people. All right, have a good one. Yep. Meanwhile, across the operation, other members of the team are making sure everything is running as smoothly as possible. Over at Australia Creek, Tyson's mini wash plant Sluifer has been running for a full month, and the numbers coming out of it are nothing short of impressive. Tyson's Lucifer might be smaller compared to Parker's other wash plants, but it's proving that size isn't everything. For 4 straight weeks, this machine has been churning through dirt, pulling in an average of 145 per week. But this week the numbers are even better. As the team gathers around to weigh the gold, the numbers climb fast, finally landing at 270.05 ohms. That's over $250,000 worth of gold in just 7 days. More than $500,000 in a single cleanup for a smaller setup. That's an absolutely massive return. It's proof that no matter how big or small the operation, when the ground is rich, the gold keeps coming. Next up, it's time to see if Parker's latest setup, Roxanne, can hold its own against Big Red, the legendary workhorse of the operation. The Money Pit is one of the best grounds they've ever worked on, but after making several modifications to the setup, this is the moment of truth. Can Roxanne match the numbers Big Red used to pull? Big Red was a gold churning machine averaging over 370 ounces of gold per week. It set the standard for the entire operation. But with Roxanne now in place, there's a lot riding on whether it can keep up high. Chris Hay Parker. Core gold, yeah, real course. I like that you see that out there in the corner, just a big puddle of gold on the edge there. That's really cool. God, seeing this right off the bat, I bet we might find some really nice ones. Oh yeah, are we getting down deep? The weigh-in begins. The crew watches as the numbers rise. The first batch weighs 200, then the second batch goes in more gold, hits 46.850, and that's not even counting the fine gold that couldn't be fully cleaned. When all is said and done, the final count is 443.8 ohms, a staggering haul worth nearly $120,000 per day, but it doesn't stop there. With all the cleanups combined, Parker's operation has pulled in a staggering amount of gold this week. The numbers speak for themselves. 3 full pans of gold, 723.85 ounces in a single week, worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million for Parker and his crew. This isn't just another cleanup. It's the biggest haul of the entire season. It's the kind of week every gold miner dreams of, the kind of numbers that can make or break a season. But here's the thing about mining: you can't stop. Not even for a second. They're on track. With the way it's looking, we're probably going to be out of Pater. You know, it's been a really long season this year to think, and the gold is flowing. If they can keep this momentum going, they might just have a record-breaking season on their hands. As the latest weigh-ins roll in, the numbers are getting bigger, the stakes are getting higher, and the pressure to keep things moving is heavier than ever. Parker's 7,000-ounce goal is within reach, but only if they can keep the gold flowing at this record-breaking pace. As Parker catches up with Chris, there's no time for small talk. There's gold to weigh and big questions to answer. Tyson has officially finished up operations at Australia Creek, marking the end of a significant chapter in this season's gold hunt. But the real question is, was it worth it? The team gathers around as the final gold haul from Australia Creek gets weighed. Every ounce counts, and Parker needs at least 300 ounces per week to stay on track for his massive season goal. The gold hits the scale, coming up to about 28,230 ohms. Now that's over $560,000 worth of gold, a solid finish to a tough operation over the course of the season. Australia Creek has produced more than 1,000 ounces, a huge success by any standard. But will they be coming back next year? Parker isn't ready to make that call just yet. While the ground produced well, it wasn't easy. There's still a lot of work to be done, and the decision to return will be anything but simple for now, though they can call this run a win. Next up, it's time to see what Roxanne has pulled out of the ground, and from the looks of things, this is going to be a heavy one. As the massive gold-filled pan is placed on the scale, Parker braces for the final count. The numbers start climbing fast, reaching a staggering $382.05. Oh, that's nearly $760,000 worth of gold, a monster haul that pushes Parker's season total to 6,544. With every weigh-in, one thing is becoming clear: buying Dominion Creek was the right call. The ground is delivering more gold than anyone expected, and while time is running out, the operation is still pulling in incredible numbers. But they're not in the clear just yet. There's only one wash plant left running, and the season is winding down fast. If the team can keep things running smoothly, if the ground keeps delivering, and if the weather holds, they just might hit that 7,000-ounce goal. 6 months. That's how long Parker Schnabel and his team have been grinding away in the Yukon, chasing an ambitious dream that many thought was too risky. A $15 million gamble on Dominion Creek, a massive claim with untapped potential, put everything on the line. The goal, 7,000 ounces of gold in a single season. It wasn't easy. They battled equipment breakdowns, unpredictable weather, and the constant pressure of keeping up with their massive operation. The crew put in relentless hours moving dirt at a rate most miners could only dream of, all while fine-tuning their wash plants to squeeze every ounce of gold out of the ground. And now, after half a year of non-stop work, it all comes down to this moment with the entire team gathered outside. As far as the season goes, the final total was 77,381. Applause. That is unreal. Sets us up so well for the next few years. I really want to thank you all, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that every one of you guys wants to come back, because spot here next year. Parker prepares for the final gold weigh-in of the season. The tension is high, but there's also an undercurrent of excitement. Everyone knows the Money Pit has been producing big numbers lately. But is it enough? Parker isn't one for drawn-out speeches or dramatics. He just wants to get to the numbers after all. The scale will tell the truth. Either this season was a success or it wasn't. He takes a deep breath and starts loading the first jar onto the scale. The numbers begin climbing, reaching 300 right out of the gate. That alone would have been enough to push him past his 7,000-ounce target, but there's still another full jar to go. Parker barely reacts. He's focused, but the energy in the room is shifting. The crew is starting to feel it. This isn't just going to be a good weigh-in, it's going to be historic. He sets the second jar on the scale and continues the count. 240 plus 24.3 in fine gold, and the final tally for the week, 554.35 worth over $1.1 million. The room erupts with cheers. This is officially the single biggest weekly gold haul from any wash plant this season, but as incredible as this week's numbers are, they pale in comparison to the full season total. With this final haul, Parker's grand total for the season comes in at $7,381. Oh, that's an eye-watering $15 million in gold, just shy of the $15 million he spent to buy Dominion Creek. In one season, he nearly made back the entire purchase price of his claim. That kind of success is almost unheard of, even for a veteran gold miner like Parker. This moment is surreal. This wasn't just a win, this was a statement. He didn't just buy a claim, he bought the right claim. The crew is buzzing with excitement, but Parker takes a moment to reflect. It wasn't just the ground that made this possible, it was the people standing around him, the men and women who woke up at the crack of dawn, worked in brutal conditions, fixed broken equipment in the dead of night, and never stopped believing that they could make this happen. And then there are those who didn't live to see this day. With 7,381 ounces of gold and nearly $15 million in earnings, Parker Schnabel has pulled off what many thought was impossible. In just one season, he's come within reach of paying off his massive $15 million gamble on Dominion Creek. The risk was huge, the pressure was relentless, and the setbacks were plenty. But in the end, the rewards were even bigger. However, numbers only tell part of the story. This season was filled with challenges, setbacks, and hard-fought victories, from adapting to new terrain and dealing with unpredictable conditions to pushing his crew harder than ever. Parker had to make some of the biggest decisions of his mining career. At times it felt like the odds were stacked against them, but through sheer determination and smart decision-making, they turned Dominion Creek into a gold-producing powerhouse. What's truly remarkable about this season isn't just the gold total. It's the growth of Parker as a miner and a leader. He didn't just mine for gold, he built a foundation for the future. His team, many of whom started with little experience, stepped up and proved their worth. Machines were pushed to their limits, new strategies were tested, and lessons were learned that will shape the seasons to come. Dominion isn't just a claim anymore, it's a long-term operation. With limitless potential, of course. This success doesn't mean the work is over. Gold mining is unpredictable, and no two seasons are the same. The ground may hold even greater riches, or it may throw new challenges their way. Equipment will break, weather will turn, and tough decisions will have to be made. But if this season proved anything, it's that Parker and his team are capable of handling whatever comes next. Looking ahead, the question isn't whether Parker can keep up this success, it's how far he can take it. Will Dominion Creek continue to deliver record-breaking hauls?